Okay na. Okay. The fourth, please rise. No? The fourth regular session of the 20th City Council is now called to order. Please rise. Invocation by Honorable Councilor Maria Lourdes Gaani, followed by singing of the Philippine National Anthem and Cagayan de Oro March.
Ngapon ka natong tanan. Let us put ourselves in the presence of God. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we acknowledge your presence today. We thank you for another opportunity to be here before we begin to perform our duties and responsibilities to the public. Cloak us with your divine protection as we continue our battle with the unseen enemy and keep everyone safe from all forms of evil. May you also restore the peace in our city and let love reign in everyone's heart. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Hayang magiliw, telas ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ko pagaw, ay hinatang tulang awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitigil, ang ituwin at araw niya kailan ang may ibatitinig. Lumalang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya ng karnay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please be seated. Maayong hapon, councilors. Maayong hapon, our media friends and guests who are here today. So, Mr. Secretary, please do the roll call.
Honorable Jocelyn B. Rodriguez, City Vice Mayor and Presiding Officer. For the 1st District Councilors, Honorable Agapito Heriberto G. Swan, Honorable Roger G. Abaday, Honorable J.R. Pascual, Honorable Aimee Rose P. Moreno, Honorable Romeo V. Calizo, Honorable George is Goking, Honorable Jose Pepe S. Abo Jr., Honorable Malvern A. Esparcia. For the 2nd District Councilors, Honorable Ivona Yaseni B. Imano, Honorable Maria Lourdes Isgaani, Honorable Joylene Mercedes El Balaba, Honorable James K. Judith II, Honorable Ian Mark Yunakaya, Honorable Edgar S. Cabanlas, Honorable Christian Rostico M. Achas, Honorable Suzette G. Magtahas Daba. For the ex-officio members, Honorable Yan Lam is Lim Liga ng mga Barangay President, and Honorable John Michael L. Seno, City SK Federation President. There is quorum, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Quorum of the 4th regular session is hereby certified. You may now have the floor. Majority Floor Leader, Councilor Ian Mark Naka. Yes, Councilor Abaday.
May I refer you, Madam Chair, in the first cover page of our agenda.
Okay.
I would like to invite our colleagues. If it is a complete
Yeah.
presentation.
I understand. Apologize.
You know, Madam Chair, it's not a besmirch on my part, but I have sleepless nights. Since I received the invitation, Madam Chair, because many of my colleagues are calling whether I am still a member of the City Council. And some of my colleagues there are maligning me.
Did you notice that the first agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair. So,
Then it continues with until now with the third agenda. Only this one because the first one and the second we were able to
I hope the point of raising this, Madam Chair and my colleagues, so that in the future there might be some
understand.
repetition. So I'm just reminding, and I'm thanking the good secretary that he has immediately acted upon, and he already inserted me. And so
How did
it's
you
not-
insert?
For me, it's not a big deal, no?
Photoshop. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. That's only an information, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Abaday. So it's corrected na, ha? Okay. Anyway, proceed, Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Turks, sabi na ko humana Turks. Anyway, that's just for future reference, perhaps. But for Councilor Abaday, he has no problem with the concern. But thank you very much for the information. May I also greet good afternoon to our colleagues of the Council and the friends from the media, fellow Cagayanos, maayong hapon. I move, Madam Chair, to dispense with the reading of the minutes of meeting on July 18, 2022, and to consider the furnishing of its copy to every member as the reading itself.
Any second? Any objection, correction? Being none, motion is carried.
I likewise move for the approval of the said minutes of meeting.
Any second? Any objection? Motion carried.
On special report portion, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairperson, we only have one, but two members would render the same subject matter. And that would be Councilor Roger G. Abaday with rejoinder from Councilor Malvern A. Esparcia as regards the rising crime incidents in the city. May we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor Abaday to be followed by Councilor Esparcia.
Okay, Councilor Abaday, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Majority Floor. Our distinguished presiding officer.
Excuse me, Councilor Abaday, nalay
Yes.
pa-insert ha, kadali reminders of the rules of the special report for smooth proceedings of internal rules of procedure. Number one, duration of a special report is 1 hour. One topic only per special report, no? The time allotted for a special report is 10 minutes maximum, extendable for another 5 minutes, no? Interpellation is limited to 5 minutes per member and shall be allowed to interpellate only twice per subject matter. Is that okay?
Yes, Madam Chair. Anyway, no worry because
Thank you.
my special report will only last for long 1 minute.
Okay, proceed, Councilor Batay.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, our distinguished Vice Presiding Officer, Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bibot Rodriguez, my colleagues in the 20th City Council, our friends in the media, and people who are watching us online and in the gallery. Good morning. Good afternoon. Not ko good morning kasi businessmen, always good morning. Okay, now my report is about the series of serious incidents during this month, no, in July. As a backgrounder, the first one, the most one of the murder case of our good friends, Ding Himpisaw, and then the hostage taking on July 17, 2022, which wounded 2 members of the Kokpo policemen. Then the hold-up homicide with rape along Diversion Road, Gusa, Lapasan, the city. Then the robbery hold-up in Sayas, Carmen, just July 18, 2022. The murder of someone of the barkers, Homerin Corrales, and there are other crimes. Now, these are incidents, these are cases that that does not affect seriously our city peace and order situation. Our city mayor has just cut off his trip from Manila just to look into the situation. As the chief executive, he instructed in dispatch the police officers in Kokpo and other police agencies to manage and control the city's peace and order condition. In fact, our business is going on normally, and then government or private functions are still normal. And then the mayor himself, with our city officials, had conducted a ronda or patrol together with police officers. How many nights na? Ano ba? Just go around the city and to oversee the real situation, no? As brought up by the media and other, especially those areas affected that needs to be addressed in terms of public safety and to prevent further recurrence. Now, Cagayan de Oro is not only a place has experienced these incidents. In fact, if you read the newspaper today and the previous news, there are other serious incidents that occurred somewhere, another place in this country. No, so we are not alone. No, on this experience on this kind of incidents. So now, in view of these incidents, Madam Chair and my colleagues, first of all I would like to appreciate and commend our police personnel, Kokpo, for the timely response which led to the apprehension, surrenders of some persons' interest involved in such crimes. So, presently, they were detained and they were processed for possible prosecution of the cases. In fact, there are some cases that are still to be resolved for the absence of apprehensions of persons in interest. Now, we know for the fact that crimes is a social phenomenon. It's just like birth and death. So, now, Cagayan de Oro is becoming a metropolis city. A great number of people are coming in and out every now and then with different cultures and behaviors. The city development is so fast, and there was a change of command from the city leadership, from the mayor, vice, and other positions. No? Naturally, there are functions, especially for the chief executive, needs to be attained or to be fixed. Ongoing pa ang iyang pag-organize, no? like the convention of the Peace and Order Council, the alignment of leadership of the police and other positions related to public order and safety. So perhaps in my perception, this might be some factors that some bad elements had tried to undermine or trying to test, not to take advantage the opportunity to transgress or advance their interests, maligning the image of the new administration. And I think I am confident that this would not succeed. I hope they would not. And we will try our best that this will not succeed, Madam Chair and my colleague. Now, there were critics or issues raised in public, like in the media, from other sectors, no, with regards to these causes or series of accidents in the city. Number one, critics I've observed and learned and heard that there is a weak implementation of crime prevention, detection and control measures of COCPO and other law enforcement agencies. There's a lack of police visibility, intelligence gathering, which allowed criminals to have an opportunity to access to commit such crime. Dysfunction of police community policing in crime prevention and control. The lack of contribution, support that local communities made to prevent crime. Situation reports and other utilizations of force multipliers. Absence or lack of utilization of technologies for crime prevention, control, and solution. And then lack of training in crisis management. For example, in the hostage taking that resulted to two policemen injured during the hostage drama. In fact, the suspect is suspect of there is a mentally defective. No? That's according to the reports. Now, Madam Chair and my colleagues, now in response to these areas concerned, here are some of my humble recommendations subject for consideration and modification for the agencies concerned for the safety and order of our city, specifically to our COCPO and LGUs executive like the barangays, as part of our criminal justice system, since these are the mounting challenges facing our police leaders today. And no priority order, the COCPO should improve their crime prevention and control strategies, like target hardening, making our life or properties harder for offenders to access, the target removal, meaning ensuring that potential target is out of view, reducing meaning enforcement of the law to make crime harder to commit, then surveillance and patrol, the covert and the overt operation. And the other one is the use or secure advanced technology that can detect threats or crimes such as gunshot detection system or shot boundary detection. I do not know if this we have here in our city, no? But other city, they have already this technology. These are extremely beneficial to law enforcement in emergency response or personnel as well as private. No? Now, update crime mapping system to improve public safety. This is an important tool in managing and controlling in crime scene. The computerized or digital analysis of spatial and temporal data provided by maps. Investigators are able to understand the crime patterns and trends. It also helps source location and geographical profiling of criminals and suspicious location. Procurement of drone camera. Naman sa ito drone, naman siguro ta. Ambot sa police na ano ba? And license plate readers, license plate reader or license plate recognition. This is good for I think LTO or traffic, and we must have this kind of to identify the suspects who are riding, especially riding motor tandem, riding in tandem, and uh, automobile, or suspects are using automobile or motorcycle, then for LGU and PNP Kokpo, activate the community-based crime prevention program or community policing and utilization of multipliers to enhance public safety and security. This will help our police because they are only few, so they have utilized our multipliers that the security guards and the BPAT and other NGOs. No? Lastly, last but not the least, we have to strengthen our close coordination with our agencies under criminal justice system, which includes the community or the barangay, the police, the correction, the court, and the correction institution, no? So that the wheels of justice will continue rolling, and any dysfunction of any of these agencies will result to injustice and affects our peace and order in our society. Those are the areas that I am recommending, Madam Chair. And with this report, I am referring this report to the chairman of the Peace and Order and Safety Committee, chaired by Honorable Romeo Calizo, for his perusal. Thank you very much, and good afternoon once again.
Thank you, Councilor Roger Baday. A very good report, no? So this will be referred to Councilor Romeo Calizo, no? For public safety, peace and order. So, shall we proceed? Rejoinder. Okay. Councilor Bernie Sparsa, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, to all our colleagues, sa akong mga kaubang, mga konsihal, o sa mga nagtanaw karon sa Facebook Live, sa inyong tanan, maayong hapon. I just want to join and same sentiment with our Honorable Roger Abaday, nga medyo nakabalakag yun ang mga kagayanon for the series of crimes for the past months. If I'm not mistaken, murag halos in just a short period of time, as what Honorable Roger Abaday said, halos unom ka multiple murders. Ang pinaka-latest, I think, katong sa Corrales. Now, the mentioned reported incident usually happen late at night or during kanang sa kadlawon. And also, aside from the crimes mentioned above, several thefts and hold-ups also, nagyapoy kaka-report. And also, I've also read a Facebook post from a certain netizen who warned public commuters to be vigilant whenever riding public transport. Kay daghan gyapon karon nga gasakay sa mga jeepneys karon, and during her ride, 3 thieves were in the jeepney. Well, nainang gawas karon sa Facebook, Madam Chair, nga muingon nga naunsa naman ning Cagayan de Oro, basin daw na serial killer. Well, Kokpo, rest assured nga walay connection ning tanan ng mga crimes nga naitabo. Now, many blame our non-functional street lamps. Medyo nabantayan nato nga nagyo yung mga street lamps sa Cagayan de Oro nga medyo di ka function mo nang there are some parts of the city that are, you know, medyo ngit-ngit yun. And also, there were a lot of people also asking sa atong mga public CCTVs kung unsay naitabo, kung ga-function pa ba ni. And now also, I'm sure some of our councilors here, daghan kayo nag-text sa inyo po, nag-PM, that they're shouting ay balik na po ning curfew. Well, personally, we should study this further because a barometer manggod of a safety city is ang katauhan makalaag, maglakaw-lakaw sa gabi nga kampante siya, nga dili siya maunsa. So that's our barometer for a safety city. Now, everybody is pushing again the curfew. I think karon manggod we're still in the process of economic recovery, no? So also, we would like to think also sa atong mga negosyo nga nagbalik na karon and nalipay galing sila nga gabalik na. And also, kung we're just focused on the curfew, remember, there were also crimes committed in broad daylight. As mentioned also a while ago again by Honorable Roger Abaday, my friend Ding Impisa was shot dead. Buntag. Na-resolve ba to? And also, kung magstorya taog curfew ani, then gusto ra ba ni Mayor ibalik po ang atong night cafe? No? So, one thing also, people are blaming ang atong mga kapulisan. For me, personally, well, crime is a complex problem that cannot be solved independently within any social institution. The help of the entire community is needed. Let us help our city by being proactive and vigilant. Again, Madam Chair, my prayer on this, Madam Chair, is hope we could have a motion to conduct an emergency meeting or a special session within this week, inviting the entire agencies involved, especially our PNP Director Aaron Mandia, through, of course, our committee chair, Honorable Romeo Calizo, and also to review our ordinances regarding the curfew, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Esparcia. That is a very good report. Interpellation, Councilor Ayan Achas, you're acknowledged.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Rejoinder lang, Madam Chair. I would like also to add on, Madam Chair, to involve the Oro Task Force. One of the problem of the police, limitado ang ilang personnel in every station. Mostly, they are augmented in the checkpoints, Madam Chair. I think it's time to call up the Oro Task Force to help in guarding the checkpoints as well that the dispersal of our police in the streets or gitawag nato og beat patrols, Madam Chair. Para pod nga madungagan ang atong mga personnel sa atong kadalanan, then we need to activate the Oro Task Force. That would be all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Ayan Achas. Councilor Joey Abu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to add to the topic of the criminality that happened. And with the kind indulgence of everybody, please allow me to just discuss just 2 points. The series of criminality that had happened in the few weeks in the city has caused alarm and concern sa LGU, sa police, ug sa mga taga-Cagayan. Indeed, it should be a reason for us to be wary and cautious. But despite everything that had happened, Madam Chair, I still believe that our city remains to be relatively peaceful and livable. I allowed our Cagayan de Oro Police Department for swiftly resolving cases, some of the cases, which resulted to the apprehension of some of the perpetrators. But Madam Chair, in relation to the special report made by my good colleagues, allow me to just point out 2 important things, Madam Chair. Number 1 is, as initially touched by or discussed by Councilor Malvern Esparcia, is the possibility or the thought of reimposition of the curfew in the city. Personally, Madam Chair, I do not submit to the said proposition as of now, because on the basis, on the business aspect side of things, we are still in the process of recovery from the effects of the pandemic, and slowly our business community is only starting to rise back again. Furthermore, I do not submit as well as to the proposition that as to the reimposition of curfew, that it would result to the solution of the rise in criminality. Though it may possibly contribute to the maintenance of peace and order, but it does not necessarily resolve the root cause of the criminality. To maintain, or should I say improve, the status of the peace and order of our city, allow me to just state perhaps a better alternative solutions. And I think it's initially discussed also by Councilor Roger Abaday, that there should be, we encourage the COCBO and other law enforcement agencies to have more visibility, especially in areas where people used to flock. No, resto bars, restaurants, and everywhere sa Divisoria. And support also, number 2, the programs, operations, and needs of the Kokpo. And most importantly, we must improve more on our intelligence reporting. I know I just have mentioned the need to support the PNP with its operation and programs in deterring criminality, but again, with the kind indulgence of my colleagues, allow me to raise the second important point, Madam Chair. I came to know of this operation conducted by the PNP or the Kokpo known as Operation Kapkap Bakal. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Kapkap Bakal. Since I myself witnessed it several times already, there was a time when I was able to pass by a convenience store and saw them conducting the said operation. I approached one of the police officers and present and asked him on what is the said operation all about. He answered me that they were trying to frisk or kapkap persons drinking in public establishments to check whether they carry with them firearms or deadly weapons. I even heard the person asking, what is the basis of frisking him or them? But unfortunately, later on, they were both arrested for disobedience to person in authority. After seeing and hearing it, and though I understand that the stop and frisk search are necessary for law enforcement, as law enforcers should be given the legal arsenal to prevent the commission of offenses, I also understand the good intention behind it, but as an advocate of law, Madam Chair, it raised so many questions as to the legality of the said operation. Since the operation should be done in balance with the need to protect the privacy of every citizen. No less than the Constitution guarantees the rights of the people to be secured in their persons, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature or for any purpose. The rules of court provides one of the grounds for warrantless arrest. That is when an offense has just been committed and the police officer has probable cause to believe, based on personal knowledge of the facts or circumstances, that the person to be arrested has committed an offense or a crime. That is one ground wherein there can be a warrantless arrest. To interpret the said constitutional right, the Supreme Court in the case of Manibog versus People has also held that for a stop and freeze search or kanang pagkapkap to be valid, the totality of suspicious circumstances as personally observed by the arresting officer must lead to a genuine reason to suspect that a person is committing an illicit offense or a illicit act. Bot pasabot, Madam Chair, dapat na ay valid suspicion ang atong mga kapulisan based on personal knowledge gamit ang ilang 5 senses: pagtanaw, seeing, feeling, hearing, tasting, o ang kanang ilang panlandaw, for them to establish probable cause that a crime is committed. Hence, they can then effect a warrantless arrest. In relation to the said Operation Kapkap Bakal, Madam Chair, I am afraid, and I hope I will be wrong on this, that a day might come that they will be subjected to complaints regarding the infringement of constitutional rights. I am raising this as an awareness and perhaps that this Operation Kapkap Bakal as a means of fighting criminality may be given a second look by the proper authorities, or hopefully it may be discussed as well in the Committee on Public Safety by Committee Chair Councilor Calizo, so as to avoid any possible legal consequences by the local government unit and the police force. And to end, Madam Chair, again, I understand the necessity of always maintaining the peace and order of our community, but it should never be at the expense of violating one's constitutional right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Very good, Councilor Joey Abu. Any more? Minority Floor Leader, Councilor Attorney James Judith, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, ang akong si Honorable Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, ang akong mga tinahod nga kauban dinhi sa konseho, ang atong mga bisita, member sa prensa nga nadia sa gallery, o atong katawhan sa Dakbayan sa Cagayan de Oro, maupay. Inani lang, ako namang gitagpi-tagpi ang gipangsulti na ni nilakbitan ni Councilor Abaday, ni Councilor Atchas, Councilor Abo, Councilor Esparcia. Ako lang nabantayan, gawa sa akong nakita lugar na dunggan kang Councilor Esparcia nga nayang sugyot nga bahin adtong sa curfew o kabahin pod nga special session nga kung pwede matawag nato ang hepe sa atong kapulisan si Colonel Aaron Mandia. Gusto lang ako mapangutan na dito gyud nakatumbok kang Councilor Abaday kay daghan magutoy ang gipangbungat nga mga maayo nga mga punto kabahin unsaon nato ni ang problema sa atong peace and order dinhi sa atong dakbayan. Ang gusto lang nako nga pangutana unta kay daghan man to nga mga punto nakita nako Madam Chair kung puro magudto executive in nature ang function. So ang gusto lang nako nga masayran para matagaan nato pagtutok kung unsa gid angayan nato himuon kita sa konseho. Kay kita manggod ang atong trabaho dinhi sa konseho pagpanday og mga tukmang balaodnon o resolution kabahin ani mga problema nga naglimin karon sa atong dakbayan. So ang gusto lang nako nga masayran gawa sa katong mga recommendations ni Councilor Abaday, unsay mahimo nato kita kabahin sa konseho? Unsa nga mga balaod ba ang atong gikinahanglan para nga masulbad nato katong ug matubag pod nato ang mga recommendations sa atong mga konsehal, labi na pod kang Councilor Abaday nga iyang baling nasugyot. Daghang salamat. Asdang Cagayan de Oro, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilor James Judith. Yes, Councilor Abaday, you're recognized.
Dagang salamat, my colleagues, Councilor and Attorney James Judith. Salamat sa imong concerns. Anyway, tinod, kani akong mga recommendation is needs also legislative support, no? Recommended to the city mayor. Why? Because these are all procurement, most are procurement of new or modern technologies in crime detection and solution. So the mayor should be supported with this by our legislation that he should be authorize him to procure all these new technologies in relation to crime detection and investigation. So the chairman of the committee will be the one to recommend to us, no, what possible legislative measure that we will have to craft in order to equip our police with this kind of modern technology. So others are administrative in nature on the part of the law enforcement agency like the COCPO, Madam Chair and my colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Abaday. Okay, you're recognized, Councilor Ayana Chas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would like to add a comment on Councilor Abu regarding the Upland Kapkap. But I am more into Upland Kapkap, Madam Chair, due to my experiences sa punong barangay in Barangay Puerto. It has been observed when my Runda Tanods roaming around the streets. Mostly kung naay mag-inom sa mga daplin sa highway, Madam Chair, there are times nga mostly ilang mabadlong or ilang masita ang gainom sa dalan, musukol sa tanod, kay naay karga nga pusil. So, I think dili sad siguro nato walaon ang Operation Kapkap for the reason there is an infringement of the human rights, but rather will always prevail the state necessity if there is a necessity to extend further or extensive apprehension of these illegal activities such as gadalag mga deadly weapons. Kinanglan, Madam Chair, nga we will only provide diligence to our police officer na dili nila walaon. At the same time, it will not infringe the right of our citizens in the city, but rather we should implement the strict guidelines in implementing the frisk rule. At the same time, we will enforce our police to help the barangay tanod. Kay my experience, Madam Chair, Operation Cap, one of the police in the police station 6, without knowing ang ilang gisita na ay pusil. Even ang police na pusilan mismo. I remember my tanod conducting a roving, ang ilang gisita, Madam Chair, tungod kay dili nila maduulan, dili nila mahangyo kung unsa ilang himuon, na ay pusil, Madam Chair, gipabutan akong tanod. So the problem, kung dili nato na i-enforce, magkadugang ang kalisod sa peace and order sa dakbayan. I would like to recommend also to the police nga you should render diligence as well, not to infringe the rights of others, but as well protect yourselves. Kinanglan sad nga proteksyonan sad sa kapulisan ng ilang kaugalingon, labaw sa tanan ang atong mga tanod kay batuta ra taon ilang dala og pito, Madam Chair. That's why kinanglan I recommend also nga ang tanod ug ang police mag-join sila og grouping, as well lately I introduced the Oro Task Force nga to help na to maintain the peace and order in the city, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Ariana Chas. Any more interpellation? Councilor Calizo?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. And good afternoon too to my colleagues and to our guests at the gallery and to those observing this session online. Madam Chair, first of all, I'd like to thank my colleagues here for a very important and I say critical special report because it already borders affecting our safety and the safety of our people. Now, the prayers are good. This issue be brought to the committee because the committee, maybe to all of us, is the best venue where we can provide the appropriate inputs on what best we could do, not only on in aid of legislation, but maybe we can think of what best we can support to law enforcement, not only of the police, but to other members of the security cluster. Is it only training? Is it equipage? Is it concepts? Because I'm sure, apart from the suggestions made by my colleagues here, there are other facets of enforcement, especially on the aspect of intelligence. Because to me, intelligence work is the most tedious work for men in uniform. Operation is just easy. Given a good reference, operation is just done at the most 5 minutes. There are missions that are being accomplished only in just a few seconds. Game over. But intelligence work, Madam Chair, this is very tedious. So, actually, part of the suggestions were already initiated by our local chief executive, Mayor Uy. And he did that himself being involved in the initiatives. And really, it's worth appreciating. Now, our police this morning said, contrary to our allegations, and as compared to other highly urbanized and component cities, still Cagayan de Oro has the lowest incidence of crimes. But let us not make this as a reason for us not to take hard and appropriate actions. And with this, Madam Chair, I'd like to. I already scheduled a committee meeting pending convening of the city Peace and Order Council because the composition has not yet been completed. We have already agreed that the primary members of the security cluster will meet on the 27th, and I'll be grateful and appreciative to my colleagues if you attend said meeting. It will be on the morning of the 27th. I'd like to seek for your help so that your best inputs, your best brainchilds will be inputted into what we can do best for the security of Cagayan de Oro. So, Madam Chair, meantime, aligned with my request for them to be present there, meantime, I'd like to request everybody not to create a picture of a monster here in Cagayan de Oro. There's nothing to be afraid of here. Our law enforcement, our justice system is ongoing. I'm sure our legal experts here are aware of this. Let us still, despite the perpetration of crimes in the city, we should still show to the rest of the region, not only the region, but to the nation as well, that Cagayan de Oro is still safe. Our authorities are working, and we are working together. So that's my prayers of the moment. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Very good. Councilor Calizo. Councilor Edgar Cabanlas, you're recognized.
Salamat, Honorable Presiding Officer, our Vice Mayor, Bibot Rodriguez. I was impressed by the suggestions coming from the members of the City Council, especially the new members. I can see the intellectual exchange of ideas, and I'm proud of that. Now, I had a talk with the Chief of Operations of the POCPO, Lieutenant Colonel Shorky Serinas Jr. last Wednesday at the Mayor's office, and I asked him what's happening in the city. There seems to be a hype that something uncontrollable is going on. And this is what he said, and he supported it with statistics. Siya nga, wala man, di man problema, di man kuno, wala man kuno, there is no marked increase in the crime incidents in the city. We're still within the regular weekly expected incidents. In fact, I have here the statistics, but I said, but we cannot, as General Calizo said, we cannot be happy with that report, because what we are seeing is the sentiment, the feeling of fear in our residents, the city. What can we do? So, these are the suggestions, and I would like to make the suggestion to the chairman of the committee on peace and order, and I hope that this will be included in the committee report. First, that the task force Oro, as mentioned by Councilor Chas, we have to increase the number of military personnel in the task force Oro, because we have also the task force Oro present during that meeting. And this is the suggestion, Madam Chair. We will organize a composite company of task force ONU, composed of 88 civilian personnel. These civilian personnel will be recommended by the city mayor, or the mayor will recommend these 88 civilians to be paid by the city SGO. And the army will train, arm, provide the uniform, and they will be under the command and control of the regular members of the army. This is now what is being done in Davao, in Zamboanga City, in General Santos, in Valencia. So medyo naulahin lang ta. Now, unsa may buhaton na nila? Naa sila sa mga checkpoints. And the others will make some foot patrol. So, that's one recommendation, Madam Chair. Na ilang recommendation about sa curfew, pero murag dili kay ko ganahan na ng curfew. Kay usap man gani nga mga tao karon medyo nakuratan sa daghan nagakahitabo tungod na sa kurat nga nabuyan ha kakita og beer nga bugnaw kayo imbis duha ron dato nahimong 5 munang nahitabo murag bagong nabuhian ba okay ra na may problema na importante lang nga lugar tungod ng dana kay nay nga hubog ato na sa dayong lugar na maapektuhan atong uban nga wala man taon pila ra man ang insidente normal man na in a society like ours nga kita ang one of the fastest growing cities sa tibok Pilipinas niya taranta na taana. I don't think so. So that is also the feeling that I am getting from the other members. So Madam Chair, niya mga recommendation ni pero ko nagkusot-ason. I will just submit this to the chairman of the committee. The Committee on Public Order will be the best venue for us to air our views. Pero mula na, hangyo na kita sa media. Sa media. Kung sila karoon ini, ayaw palabihi. Pag, I'm not saying nga, di lang sa mamaningog. Pero at least pagpalabihi. Kaya di na ito gusto mandagan ng mga tao asa mga investor sa Cagayan de Oro. Cagayan de Oro, gubot na kayo. Nakabasa ko ka. Grabe na ko nung kagubot sa Cagayan. Mandagan na ta. Kulba ba kaya na ang ngati nga. So I hope the responsibility of maintaining peace and order, dili lang sa mga konsyales, dili lang sa City Hall, sa ato tanan. Wa tilay kadaganan kung nay mo sa mitabos Cagayan de Oro, sa mga paingon. Sukot kay Joey na abo mo biya sa Cagayan de Oro na. Suko na. So thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Councilor Cabanlas. I would like to ask Councilor Cabanlas if there's a training for these job orders. It's very interesting. How long will it take?
45 days
45
only.
days. Okay, very good.
That's what you call ISKA.
What you call? SCA.
ISKA, Special Civilian Armed Auxiliary.
So are they like college level or?
Yes, we can require that because we are the ones selecting them.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Councilor Evie, Imano, did you raise your hand? Please.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Good afternoon to everyone in the within these four walls, to my colleagues, to the media, to everyone in the City Council. Good afternoon. I would just like to add that I do support everyone, the sentiments of, especially of Councilor Abaday with regards to his suggestions with the how to handle crime, the patrol, to defect crimes, the updating of the crime mapping of the city. Because as we all know, as members, as Cagayanon, yes, it is our utmost concern ang peace and order of our city. I am also with Councilor Cabanlas on this, Madam Chair, nga dili lang sad nato ihadlok tanan, pero let us try to do something that we can all sleep soundly at night, we don't worry about everyone else in the city. So as per what my other colleagues have mentioned, I agree with helping the our task force, the police and the COCPO, specifically with the allocations of fuel, repair sa ilang siguro patrol so that they will be able and they will have means so as to perform their duties. But then again, Madam Presiding Officer, may I, if because as I have heard, mostly it is with regards to upgrading and giving the COCPO or the PNP or the police equipment or giving them funding so as to be able to perform their tasks with the intelligence also, so as to prevent crimes rather than always fixing or the fast response. My commendation to the police also for their fast response, but I think it would be better to prevent crimes rather than fast responses. If, or is, as I have heard, we need to help the police in their efficiency or in the work that they have to do, siguro angay sa nato pangutanon una unsay plano sa atong halangdon mayor, because again this is, as Councilor Judith has mentioned, it is also an executive function, and if so our mayor will give us ordinances or so as we can allot budget for it, then that is when I guess we can do our job so as to give them the funding that is needed to make better our peace and order in the city. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Ibi. Councilor Seno, you recognize.
Thank you so much, Madam Presiding Officer. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, to my fellow colleagues in the 20th City Council, friends from the media, fellow Cagayanons, may hapon kanatong tanan. I would just like to add, Madam Presiding Officer, to the this August body, that somehow we could look into the our Oro Barangay Tanods, so that they could help also. I have some information that most of our accredited Oro Barangay Tanods that the city have its honorarium, kaya kinahanglan man to i-train before sila makareceive. Some of which wala na. So gamay na lang yung kaayo ang katong na-accredit. Somehow our COCPO could retrain sa new members of Oro Barangay Tanods. That could help also our police. Kaya kung tanaw na to ang ratio, supposed to be 1 police to 500 katao, I think murag giabot naman nag 700 right now. Maybe you could ask help from our Oro Barangay Tanods for visibility. No, kay medyo alang naman po tao mo commit og krimen if naay makita nila lugar, law enforcement team. And of course, dili lang sa four-wheel vehicle, Madam Presiding Officer, katong mga motor vehicle. Yeah, I think ma-activate to pagbalik sa ato ang kapulisan. Bisag ibutang lang to sa dalan, nalanay blinker nga pula og blue, medyo kung ikaw kriminal, maalanganin na pud ka. Of course, with the presence of our Oro Barangay Tanods, could somehow deter crimes, no? Although we could not say nga 100% dili na sila mo commit og krimen, but naalugar kahadlok pod. That is my just 2 cents of advice, Madam Presiding Officer, as we go along. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Seno. Actually, Barangay Tanods can very well help with even the bike, magbike na sila, visibility of this Barangay Tanods in the barangay, dako kay ang matabang, roving, multicab or motor. You know, I've been a barangay chair for 12 years. Ang ako is, this will help, the Barangay Tanods will really help in this prevention of crime, especially that these crimes are committed in the barangays, different barangays. So, in their jurisdiction, ug doon na ang mga Barangay Tanods, ma-prevent yun, no? Kaya mahadlok man, if they are visible. Thank you, Councilor Seno. Councilor Agasuan, I like this group. They're talking. Everybody's talking. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I believe na the best avenue for this discussion is on the Committee on Public Order and Safety. And in addition lang, I think it is also a good idea to look at Davao City, one of the safest in Southeast Asia, we can look at their ordinance and legislations, and maybe we can adapt some of their measures that is sa Cagayan de Oro with upgrades to be fit sa atuang syudad. So I think na dagan kay guwapong ideas, we can discuss this further sa atong committee meetings led by Honorable General Calizo. Thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Chair.
Councilor Aga. Any more? Okay. Actually, the reason why I want this, because everybody's watching now, okay? In any way, this will help our people na ma-minimize in town ang kakulba by listening to you and stating your views. The ones who are watching now, mabawaan nila. We have plans also from the City Council and the Mayor's office. Okay, Councilor Calizo, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Anyway, we have been discussing what have we done so far regarding this situation. And I'm just glad to announce what the CDO LGU has done so far. Curfew. An executive order is about to be issued by our mayor about curfew involving those below 18 years old. So 10 to 5. So they're the minors. For the adults, maybe that will come later. It's still under study, Madam Chair, because as one of my colleagues earlier said, it might affect our economic recovery. Some of our members of the business economic sector might complain because of the situation. Second, the lights. I already heard the mayor himself giving an order to our city engineer to check on the lights, priority of which is where that is killing incident happened, rape slaying incident happened, the coastal road. Yeah. CCTV, Madam Chair. The other Thursday, we have initiated a meeting at the committee level for the upgrade of our CCTV. Kay wala gyud atong CCTV, grabe na kahanap, labi na kanang murag gabi unya drizzling, di na gyud kabasa ang atong CCTV, Madam Chair. And this should be given priority, and I think all my colleagues will be amenable for including this in our budget. OKK revival. This is a strong recommendation by a big sector of our society, but with a careful study, maybe upgrading the OKK years back. So this might be an action which our people will be happy about, because everybody's craving for in the social media. Yeah. Equipage. The mayor's already emitted statement that he will upgrade the equipage of our police, especially on the aspect of mobility and communication. So this will be a good move of LGU in support of our police, Madam Chair. And apart from that, in support to law enforcement, we have counter-terrorism, in support of counter-lawless violence and other anti-criminality campaign, upgrading the capability of Task Force Oro by providing or by organizing, equipping, and controlling a special CAFGU. Because really it's very economical. Why? Training, expenses, equipage in terms of firearms, basic communications, the mobility, these are all at the expense of the Army or the armed forces. The only thing that we shoulder, LGU's shoulders, is the meal allowance. All other expenses dito na sa armed forces yun kuhaon, Madam Chair. And There is a very clear statement of our mayor. The intelligence fund must be used. And it should be of optimum use, Madam Chair. Not really on the aspect of making it uh, what do you call this, appeasing our police to do more. But it should be used as an intelligence fund, really. So what is intelligence? It's not merely investigating. It's more on profiling, digging up into what they call this, the securities and inspection, monitoring, and other intelligence-related jobs, Madam Chair. So these are all, well, this will not be a promise because I know the council will be using its oversight functions, Madam Chair. So these are the initial. And I know our local chief executive has asked not only Kokpo, but other members of the security cluster to give their best inputs for a good concept to secure, if only to secure our city, Madam Chair. So this is for the information of the public and of course to my colleagues here. Thank you, Madam
Very
Chair.
good. Very good, Councilor Calizo. Actually, this coastal road, no, there is already, what you call this, the pole lights and the lights, no, ready for the application of the city to Sipalco. Because what the Congress, I have spoken to my brother, the Congressman Rufus, he said, nahimo na ang tanan sa coastal road because it is now the part of the city to have this applied sa Sipalco. Hope we can facilitate that para masiga na ang atong coastal road. Thank you. Kasi mapakasulti. Councilor Joey Abu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have listened to... Hello. I have listened to the statement of the good Councilor General Calizo. But I hope as to the issuance of, I think there's an executive order that is about to be signed regarding curfew for involving minors. I hope it would not run in contravention to the Supreme Court decision of Spark versus Quezon City, wherein the Supreme Court ruled to strike down the ordinance issued by the local government of Quezon City, restricting the movements of the minors involved during nighttime. But I'm pretty sure that the good mayor has a lot of lawyers, legal luminaries around him. But I hope it will not be in contravention to the said jurisprudence. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Councilor Abaday. This is going to be the last.
Last,
Okay.
Madam Chair. Now, there is no problem of augmentation of forces like down to the barangay. Kaya na sa atong syudad, atong sa mga kapulisan. But what is the problematic area of the law enforcement agency or police is the crime solution. Dali na kayo madakpan ang mga suspitsado. Immediately, madakop. Detain. Pero the problem is, unsaon pag-convict sa mga suspitsado. How many victims of riding in tandem now? Until now, it was not resolved. The reason is we lack this new technology. Natay CCTV, as mentioned by Councilor Calizo, but it's not functioning. And murder, especially the latest murder, the problem is how to identify the tools used by the suspects. The detection of the area, kanang crime mapping nala okay lang na siya, but the technology, the latest technology that we wanted is, this is one kani akong gi-recommend kaning nga mga technology, latest technology, it is a forensic technology that the police must possess so that the crime can be easily solved. Kaning plate plate plate, radar, and identification. Kung naani sa atong syudad, kanang tanan mga suspect, rather motorcycle or vehicles, this will be placed in strategic places. Sayon kay ma-identify ang mga suspisado, pero wala na sa ato karon. But other places na why cannot? So I'm glad that Councilor Calizo mentioned that the mayor will utilize his intelligence fund, and this can be both and plus the training. No, for example, this gunshot detection system. May bawa na to ang police. This should be trained. Butulan sa usa ka by bullet bores alone, it can be detected what kind of caliber, what distance by the determination of decibels. So it can be detected. So sayon kayo dakop, sayon kayo makarespond ang police, at sayon sila maka-identify. So ang problema sa ako sa itong kapulisan karon, sigig pa sa kagsumbong, ma-dismiss pa sa korte kay wala tay expert nga mo support, nga mo justify sa ilang mga finding. Dalon pa sa Manila. Muna'y kulang sa atong syudad ang mga forensic technology, forensic tools, and expertise of our police. Pumutana kay ko sa police sa one meeting namo sa kang General Calizo sa public safety na mag-impose tag CCTV ordinance, but di siya may mag-enforce. One is the police, but they have no expertise how to read the data in the CCTV. So use this po, no? So we need this expertise, Madam Chair and my colleagues, for the crime solution. Importante masolve. Kaya nga nung gabalik-balik ni mga kriminal, kadili kadakpan. Sumuro gyapon na siya bisan pag usaw ni di pa madakpan muna nga dili masolve ang krimen. Nalain ra ba sa record sa police basta mapile na ang kaso, ang record nila crime is solved. No, pero ang kriminal na pa. So these technologies, that modern technologies that I'm recommending, I hope that with the support of the Chief Executive by way of spending his budget, no, as intelligence, this can be bought, and our policemen also can be trained how to use this modern technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Abaday. That's already the last one, okay? Councilor Seno. This is a very good report, Councilor Abaday. I hope this can be addressed, no, with Councilor Calizo, especially the intelligence fund in purchasing, no, helpful. Councilor Seno.
May lang yun kayo, Madam Presiding Officer. I hope na we could revive the katong scanner, Madam Presiding Officer, na katong ma-identify ang tao. Magamit na po to. I think na ay gi-purchase man to during COVID. Mabalik to siya, ma-revive. Kay ma-identify man ang mga tao ato, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay.
So with the katong na mga katong scanner. Duha man to kabuk na purchase kung wa ko masay.
Okay. So thank you very much, councilors. Councilor Nakaya, we will refer this to the committee, or there's a resolution? So what?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer. To the Committee on the Public Order and Safety.
So referred to Committee on Public Safety.
So that would be all for the special report portion.
Okay.
May-
Actually, Majority Floor Leader, we have 5 resolutions for the approval of the budget from Barangay Council sa Barangay 8, Barangay 15, Lapasan, Pagalungan, and Tuburan. Please proceed, Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. As articulated by the Presiding Officer, we have similar subject matter on items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And therefore, we will lump this in one motion. May I read? Item 1 is proposed resolution number 2022-18, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay number 8, this city, its ordinance number 01 series of 2022. Number 2 is proposed resolution number 2022-19, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay number 15, this city, its ordinance number 01-2022 series of 2022. Number 3 is proposed resolution number 2022-20, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay Lapasan, this city, its ordinance number 02 series of 2021. Number 4 is proposed resolution number 2022-21, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay Pagalungan, this city, its ordinance number 001 series of 2022. Number 5 is proposed resolution number 2022-23, 22, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay Tuburan, the city, its ordinance number 02 series of 2022. And number 6 is proposed resolution number 2022-23, returning to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Bugor, the city, its resolution number 002 series of 2022, covering the respective annual budgets for calendar year 2022 with estimated incomes with the information that said resolutions are operative in their entirety. May we ask the chair to please recognize Councilor Yan Lam Lim to place the necessary motion.
Thank you. Councilor Alam Lim, you are recognized. Thank you very much, Majority Floor Leader.
Madam Chair, maayong hapon sa tanan. Everything is in order. I move for the approval of purpose resolution number 2022-18, resolution number 2022-19, resolution number 2022-20, resolution number 2022-21, resolution number 2022-22.
Second? Any second? Until 6. Yeah. No. Tuburan. Okay. So, Councilor Alam Lim,
Yeah.
only
Sorry.
until
5.
item number 5. Sige lang. Majority Floor Leader, I would like to send out to the motion. Ha? Okay lang.
I move for the approval. Everything is in order.
Okay. Any second? Any objection? Motion is motion is carried. Majority Floor Leader.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Second? Objection? Motion is carried.
As read earlier, Madam Presiding Officer, on number 6 for Barangay Bugo, we ask the chair to recognize Councilor Michael Seno.
Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Councilor Seno, you're recognized.
Good afternoon once again, Madam Presiding Officer. It has gone through the local finance committee and everything is in order. Madam Presiding Officer, I move to approve the proposed resolution number 2022-23.
Second? Objection? Motion is carried. Majority Floor Leader, I think items number 7 to 9 are this for the first reading.
No, these are resolutions, Madam Presiding Officer, and the sense and sentiments of, yes, move to dispense second final reading for
Okay.
item number 6.
Second? Okay, second? Objection? Motion carried.
For items, may I take per item, Madam Presiding Officer?
Okay, go ahead.
Number 7 is proposed resolution number 2022-24, designating Honorable Roger G. Abaday, City Councilor of 1st District, and Honorable Edgar S. Cabanla, City Councilor of the 2nd District, as the 20th City Council's official representatives to the People's Law Enforcement Board, PLEB, for the 1st District and 2nd District, respectively, with all rights and privileges appurtenant thereto. I move, Madam Presiding Officer, to approve the same.
So, Majority Floor Leader, is this a first reading? I just want to make sure.
This is the first and final reading after the manifestation, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second? Objection? Discussion. Okay, discussion. Councilor James Judith.
Madam Chair, ako lang din tatawon, no? Item 7, item 8, item 9 sa akong pakli sa panid lugar sa atong agenda book, nakita nako na committee reports pero wala may giingon dining nakatambong ang atong presiding officer or vice mayor isip ex officio nga membro niining mga komitiba. Unya kung naamanggali dinhi sa kaning bahin sa kaning naiuban dinhi nga mga komitiba, nakabutang dinhi Madam Chair labi na sa pag-designate kang Councilor Abaday, kang Councilor Cabanlas, and then kang Councilor Caliso o kang Attorney Kenneth Tamala. Wala man ko'y supak ani Madam Chair. Ang ako lang kay, nasayod ba ang presiding officer ani, na-imbitar ba ang presiding officer ani, nga naay committee report giingon, pero wala man din ingon nga nakasuklip, nga naka-appeal ang Vice Mayor sa mobaling committee hearing. Unya, dayon Madam Chair, gusto lang ako nitatawon para maklaro na gid nato. Siguro nga panahon na pod Madam Chair nga usabon nato atong sistema nga i-dispense nato ang second reading kay considering nga sa kana nga stage bali mo na ang debate. Unya tataw man kabalo man ko nga gibasihan bali sa mayorya mao ang section 37 sa atong internal rules of procedure. Pero sa ako pagduki-duki Madam Chair, nakita nako nga tuod na ana sa atong internal rules pero nakasupak sa atong batakang balaod o sa atong local government code. Kung gitanaw pod nako ang jurisprudence na nakabutang din ni GR number 127820 July 20, 1998 Parañaque versus VM Realty Corporation. Na po GR number 127255 August 14, 1997 Joker Arroyo versus Jose de Venecia. So nakabutang din ni sa Rule 13 sa atong internal rules of procedure labi na sa section 37 nga i-dispense daw nato ang second reading. Pero sa akong tanaw Madam Chair, para pod sa kasayuran sa tanan, dili ta pwede nga mag-dispense sa second reading considering mauna ang debate. Kay tanan gyud maski asa pa ka nga local government units, maski pod ang atong batakang balaod, mag-reference pod ta sa atong Senado, kinahanglan gyud moagi gyud og 3 readings. Unya kung dili na ta magbasa kung mahasulan lugar ta, pero kinahanglan gid gyapon basahon nato ang teksto kinsay author ug unsa bali kana nga sugyot balaod nun nga atong giipapasa dinhi sa wanan sa atong konseho. So ako wala ko nagsupak Madam Chair, pwede ra man nato mahimuan, pwede man ta 3 readings in one day. Pero ang ako lang proseso lang sa dunta. Mora gid Madam Chair, mora gid ako nakita nga dili pwede nga kung mahimo for the record nga ato ning mabutang nga panahon na sa siguro nga mausab nato ang pag-dispense nato sa kining mga readings. Kinahanglan mo subay kita sa balaod, 3 readings is 3 readings. Okay. Daghang salamat, Madam
Thank you,
Chair.
Councilor Attorney James Judith. Councilor Ayan Mark Nakaya?
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. That's a good question from a neophyte member of the City Council so that all the new members of the Council would be enlightened as to the process of the City Council when the committees of the Council would endeavor actions. There are 2 ways that the committees would handle the proceeding as well as the consideration of any and all pending, Madam Presiding Officer. The first is open and public discussion when there is a necessity to invite resource persons and to procure documents that would allow the members of the committee to study, understand the issues and concerns that are pending before the committee. And that's the first. And the second, it is also allowed under the rules of the council that we do perusal action. In other words, we just read, review, comprehend, understand what pending matter before the committee. And these items on the 7, 8, and 9, what we did was a perusal action, Madam Presiding Officer. And the requirement are, of course, the approval and the signatures of the members of the committee that would endorse to form part the committee report of the council. So in other words, it's legitimate action, Madam Presiding Officer. Secondly, on the first, second, and third reading, as admitted by the minority floor leader, that it can be done acted on the first, second, third reading in one day. In fact, I have a ruling also from the Malonzo versus Zamora case pending and ruled over by the Supreme Court that there is nothing in the law, however, which prohibits the 3 readings of a proposed ordinance be held in just one day. And while we have misappreciated the dispensation of the second and final reading as the dispensation of the actual work of the City Council, but the truth is, during the seminar, Madam Presiding Officer, there was an understanding between the lecturer and the majority members who were around in that seminar that sufficiently the proceeding that we have submitted according to the requirement of the regulations, the requirement of the local government code, or even its IRR, we have complied with. The first reading, according to parliamentary, and those of the House and the Senate, are just the reading of the title. And under the rules of the City Council, the comparative action of that first reading is before the City Secretary forwards the authored proposal of the members of the Council to the appropriate committee. And the second reading is the deliberation, discussion, and if there are any concerns that would require amendments or modifications of the proposal pending before the Council, the Council would modify. And the Senate and the House would recommit it the same to the committee concerned for the rationalization of the final form of the bill or law, proposed law. While we have in this second reading, Madam Presiding Officer, after the committing of the proposal by the City Secretary to the committee concerned, there now the deliberation, the invitation of resource persons, and securing procurement of additional documents coming from executive departments, regional agencies, or resource persons to be invited to deliberate and discuss and even propose, make counters to the measures that have been introduced to the committee, and elevate the matter to the plenary for the third reading. And the third reading would be the counting of votes if there are objections to the proposal or the proposed measure. So both houses, lower and the upper, in the third reading stage would just count their votes, would divide the House if there is an objection. If there is none, proceed with the approval or consideration. If there is an objection, proceed with the disposal of the matter pending before the plenary. While we do have at this stage, Madam Presiding Officer, after the committee perusal, after committee deliberation, it is now submitted for discussion. And immediately, if all members are satisfied, and if one member is not satisfied with the proposal, there now calls the division of the House in the council level. And that would be the time to call for a vote, Madam Presiding Officer. Again, as admitted by the minority floor leader, that it is not objectionable, it is not even a violation to the mandate or the Supreme Court decision, because there is a Supreme Court decision that allows the first, second, and third reading can be done and acted in one-day session. So, accordingly, to some members, for practicality, like for example, if we designate some members of the council to be representatives to the special bodies created by law, like pleb, and maybe some other special bodies of the executive branch, it would be practical not to recommit the same to another day, to another session day, so that we consider, because accordingly, if we are decided to really consider our colleagues to become representatives to these special bodies, let's decide. Let's not defer the matter because of some technical issues that would, to some members, believe that it is worthy to endeavor. Because to the longest time, even in the 1990s, 80s, 70s, the majority of the council would endeavor to have an expedite action that would necessitate public service dispense here and now, because we are just a local council, Madam Presiding Officer. So if there is an allegation that we are doing inappropriately, there are bases, there are Supreme Court decisions, Madam Presiding Officer. We can provide with the details of the decision of the court.
Majority Floor Leader, is that also all right that the Vice Mayor was never notified on these items, being the Vice Mayor, the presiding officer? Di ba naaman po siguro ko what you call this? Kanang bitang right to just notify me nga kani sila atong gihimuan og meeting
pursuant
committee.
to-
So is that your practice also before?
No. Pursuant to the rules, Madam Presiding Officer, it's the committee that handles how we treat measures that are introduced to the council. For instance, we'll go to item number 7. The rule there, Madam Presiding Officer, is at least 3 members will sign the proposal to have the perusal action above board the requirement of the House rules. And the Vice Mayor, including the Majority Leader, are ex officio members. In other words, by virtue of our respective offices, we become ex officio members of these committees, of all the committees in the council. And even in the past, the Vice Mayor Kikang Uy never signed documents except those he favorably endorsed, or otherwise his office was the first of origin, the first office of origin that received the communication. That is why the former Vice Mayor had the chance to forward the same to the City Secretary, and the City Secretary endorses the same to the appropriate committees. But for those authored by some members of the council, it's between the two, to hold committee meetings, open and public. If things are within the comprehension of the membership of the committee, hold a perusal action. That's the practice.
Okay. Majority Floor Leader, meaning I can be notified or I cannot be notified. Is that it? Wala na gyud ko yung right, Mr. Secretary, to know na dunay, I really, you know, I
we
really do
understand.
not mind, no?
Mhm.
Pero ang ako lang, being a new presiding officer, the Vice Mayor also, that I can be notified also. I really don't mind kung sa ilang gimitingan, hearing. I'm not strict with that. Is that nga naalang ko'y communication nga naay meeting ani. So I presume appeal ko
We
kanunay.
can advise our City
Yeah.
Secretary to
Mr.
inform
Secretary?
the Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Majority. if you can also advise me para doon na sa ko'y hinanawan, no? It's not that mutanaw lang ko sa agenda, nga wala di ko'y kalibutan. So that way, I have already a prior knowledge ug unsa na ang sunod na to i-discuss. Is that okay?
You can be prompted by the
Okay.
city secretary.
Mr. Secretary, is that okay? So
While,
say,
while the
okay.
committee will continue its functions.
Yeah, okay. Just notify me. That's it, okay? Thank you very much, Majority Floor Leader. So any more discussion? Councilor Seno?
Good afternoon once again, Madam Presiding Officer. I think with the kind indulgence of our colleague, Attorney James Judith, can we just discuss this considering that it involves our internal rules and procedures on how to handle? Can we discuss this on ad hoc committee?
Okay.
So that we could
Yeah,
have
that
time.
would be great, yeah.
Yeah, para
Yeah.
kay gamay naman lang po natong
Okay, thank you.
discuss.
Thank you very much,
If that's
Councilor
okay.
Seno, yeah.
Thank you.
So probably we can proceed na, kaya mag-away na po to. Proceed na ta. Unitindog na ba? Wag i-recognize.
Thank you very much.
Ay, Councilor Abaday, recognize ta pa ka.
Yeah, well, I thought I was already.
Okay, go ahead.
This is not in defense of myself because
Yeah.
I am the concern, no? But I would just like to compliment. I just like to compliment the the jurisprudence that Councilor Judith has advanced, no?
Okay.
I have here also a Supreme Court decision, the heirs of Alberto Sagitan versus City of Mandaluyong, with regards to the passage of ordinance or resolution. I'll just quote letter C, the distinction between the ordinance and resolution. One, the resolution is just an ordinary or ministerial in character. Pleb is a executive committee, no? It's not a standing committee. The third, according to this case, no, the third reading is necessary for an ordinance, but not for a resolution unless decided by the majority of all Sangguniang members. That is the decision of the case of the heirs of Sagitan and Mandaluyong. So this is for clarification on the third reading between the ordinance and resolution.
Okay, thank you,
very much.
Councilor Abaday. So that will be for last. Councilor Attorney James Judith. That is a very good suggestion, Councilor Seno, that we need to discuss further. Okay, okay, proceed.
Madam Chair, for the record, nagduwal man sa ako si Councilor Seno. So, wala ko'y problema ni. Gusto lang ko for the record, kay dili ko gusto nga matumpawak kita ani sa unsay atong binuhatan sa konseho. Kay nasayon man tagikan man ta nagseminar tanan nga ang customs and usage dili but pasabot nga mubunga na lang gyapon mo correct na lugar ang usa ka butang nga atong gihimo nga supak sa atong balaod. So for the record, ako lang ning klarohon na may gi-mention si Councilor Abaday nga mga kaso katong years of something ana. Pero giklaro nako, napoy gi-mention si Councilor na kaya nga Malonzo case versus Zamora. Pero wala man sa sila siguro nasayod nga naay Paranaque versus BM Realty Corporation ug Joker Arroyo versus Jose de Venecia. Pero dili na lang ako makiglalis kay dili man ni korte. Ang ako lang sakto tong gingon ni Councilor Seno dito na nato
Yes.
kanang lalison sa ad hoc committee. Pero for the record, gusto lang ko dili matumpawak na gusto ko subay ta sa proseso. Mura man lang na ang ako dili man ko ingon nga obstructionist ko kaya nga akong katuyuan para man nga subay lang ta sa balaod. Mao lang na sakto ko uyon ko sa gingon ni Councilor Seno pero mamaliog lang ko. Akong balikon for the record dili ang customs and usage nga makahimo tungod sa dugay na panahon nga ato nang gibuhat nga mahimon sang insakto kay nagpabilin gyapon nga supak sa balaod ang atong gibuhat nga i-dispense nato ang second reading kay mao kana ang debate. Ang ako lang pwede man siguro sa sunod na balingay gayon ato na ning iplastar nga mubasa gyapon ta maski dili na ingon nga kanang okay na daw ko noon sa patong mga kanang attachments pero basahon lang gyapon nato maski ang title para masayod ang katawan unsa di ay ni ang atong gipasa dinhi sa hawanan sa atong konseho basahon nato kay daghan nakatutok daghan nakapaminaw so unsa di ay ni sa ana lang mora gid ni kinahanglan masayod mo nang dili nato pwede ma-dispense mo na kung hangyo pero na may sugyot si Councilor Seno akong basta kanang tumanon, pero for the record kinalan masayran sa atong mga kauban ato ning tukion kay nagpabilin nga sayop ang atong Internal Rules of Procedure section 37 section 37 rule 13 nga atong giaprubahan.
Okay.
Mao lang to.
Thank you,
Madam Chair,
Councilor James
Cagayan de
Judith.
Oro.
So, Majority Floor Leader will refer the committee na katong what the privileged speeches of the good councilors Esparcia and Councilor
Public
Abadali.
Order Committee.
Yeah,
This
public
special
order.
report.
Yeah, to the Public Order Committee of Councilor Calizo. So,
Well, we have pending for approval, Madam Presiding Officer. I guess there is no objection.
okay, proceed.
Item
second?
number 7. Yes.
Second. Any objection? Okay. Motion carried.
Di man kinala mag-inhibit. Move to dispense
Yes,
second final
motion.
reading.
Yeah, okay. Second. Objection? Objection? Councilor
7.
7.
You're objecting to Abaday and Cabanlas?
No. Are you objecting? No. Because it's already resolved with the councilors.
They are your
you know?
colleagues.
Okay na? Okay na, because you mentioned it's the same. 6, 7, 7, 8, 9 are the same. So this one we have to refer to ano? Yeah. Councilor Seno. Yes, recommendation, di ba, Mr. Secretary?
For further deliberation on the House rules, we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a pending meeting with the committee that we have created, the ad hoc. But as to the matter
Yeah.
pending, we proceed.
Okay.
We proceed.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
proceed. Until such time that we change our rules, Madam Presiding
It's
Officer,
okay.
we will proceed.
Proceed.
There's no objection, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we proceed with item 8.
Proceed.
Number 8 is proposed resolution number 2022-25, designating the Honorable City Councilor Romeo V. Calizo, Chair of the Committee on Public Utilities, Energy, Road, and Traffic Administration as the 20th City Council Sangguniang Panglungsod Official Representative to the Port Maritime Management Advisory Council, PMMAC, of Misamis Oriental, Cagayan de Oro, with all the rights and privileges pertinent thereto. May I move for its approval, Madam Presiding
Second?
Officer?
Objection.
But he's not objecting. He's
Not
just
object-
manifesting.
Okay, motion carried. Next
Move to
item.
dispense second final reading.
Second. Objection. Motion carried.
Number 9 is proposed resolution number 2022-26, confirming the appointment of Attorney Kenneth O. Tamala as City Legal Officer under coterminous status with all the rights and privileges pertinent thereto. Move for its approval, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second. No objection? Same manifestation. Motion carried.
It's okay. May we ask that Attorney Tamala?
Attorney
stand?
Tamala is here.
Okay. We will just
A few,
clap our hands and say
probably a few words
congratulations.
from Attorney Tamala.
Move to suspend the rules, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, suspend the rules. Second. Objection. Motion carried. Welcome, Attorney Tamala.
Gansita ani yung nagkakotantay.
Paglabay niya ganina kay, ingko kinsa man itong Amerikana. Marites.
Mic test. I am actually mayang hapon sa tanan, Madam Presiding Chair and the honorable members of this August House, the 20th City Council of Cagayan de Oro City. Actually, just to respond to your comment earlier, Madam Chair, I was forced to dress this way because upon seeing the online sessions of the Honorable Council, I can't help but constrain myself to do and act this way. So, and I am very happy and fortunate to have been given the confirmation by the Honorable Council. And there is just one thing I will say, Your Honor, and in front of everyone, I will do my best to defend Cagayan de Oro City and its people legally. So, maayong hapon. Daghang salamat sa tanan.
Congratulations, Attorney Tamala. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Nag-Amerikan na,
abogado.
magudya niya. Paglakaw dito, nag-Amerikan ma. Kisa man, mayon ng tako, kisa man to. Anyway, thank you. Congratulations, Attorney Tamala.
Congratulations, abogado. Move to lift the suspension of the rules.
Okay. Session resume. So I believe, Mr. Majority Floor Leader, is there any more?
Move to dispense second final reading.
Second? Objection? Councilor Edgar Cabanlas?
Move to approve on second reading.
Okay. Okay. Second. Second objection? Motion carried.
Okay, we have additional items as 10A and B and 11. Move for their inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second objection? Motion carried.
10A and B, having the same subject matter. Proposed resolution number 2022-27 expressing sincere gratitude to the Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG, especially to expressing sincere gratitude and commendation to the Department of Interior and Local Government, especially to DILG 10 Regional Director Arnel M. Agabi and Cagayan de Oro City, DILG Director Jane J. Ducalios for sponsoring the seminar on basic parliamentary procedures and local legislative process to the members of the 28th City Council, Sangguniang Panglungsod City, and B, proposed resolution number 2022-28 expressing sincere gratitude and commendation to Attorney Benedicto M. Gonzalez Jr. and Attorney Diana R. Mare for their exhaustive and enlightening lectures of the members of the 20th City Council, Sangguniang Panglungsod City during the seminar on basic parliamentary procedures and local legislative process, which was sponsored by the DILG. Proponents, all members. Move for the approval of items 10A and B, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second objection? Motion carried.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Second?
Motion to approve on final reading. Okay.
So, second gapon? Second, objection? No objection, motion is carried.
That's good. We are now
Practicing.
styling our own measures.
Correct.
In other words, we are now
Learning.
at the modern height. On item 11 is proposed resolution number 2022-29 expressing the 20th City Council's sorrow for the untimely demise of Colonel Antonio B. Interia, Jr., husband of former Cagayan de Oro City Councilor Mary Ann C. Interia, and conveying most profound sympathy and condolences to the bereaved family. Proponents, all members. Move for its approval, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second, objection. Motion is carried.
Move to approve. Second.
Second.
And final reading.
Objection? Motion is carried. I believe, Mr. Majority Floor Leader, we don't have any more items?
No more.
So we'd like to move for the adjournment of the session.
Move for its adjournment.
Second. No objection? Adjourn. Your snacks is ready. Bitaw, everybody is already have their snacks available.